Hello, welcome to my channel, Another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and I am here to do the Booktube Numbers Tag. This was created by Jim at Jim's Books, Reading, and Stuff. I was tagged by Mark over at Book Time with Elvis. There are 10 prompts to this tag. Prompt number 1. What was your first Booktube video? And that was a video called April 2021 Wrap-Up. It premiered on May 3rd, 2021. It had a total of 57 views. It was 19 minutes and 58 seconds long. It got 5 likes, and the analytics said I gained 1 subscriber from that video. Prompt number 2. How many books are you currently reading? And that is 2. I'm doing an audiobook. That is The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. This is a reread for me. I am rereading it because of the Read Banned Books in 2022 prompt created by Brian at Bookish. And a number of people have been talking about this book, and I decided that I should revisit it. I am also reading a book called Summer Light and Then Comes a Night by John Kelman Stephenson. This is a book for the translated fiction in the Booktube Prize, so I can't say anything else about it other than that I'm reading it. Prompt number 3. What were the top 3 books you read last year? In no particular order. Crime and Punishment by Fodor Dostoyevsky. Now, this is not the edition that I read last year. I listened to an audiobook version by a different translator, but this is the book that I have to hold up. This is a well-deserved classic in world literature. It is an absolutely stunning psychological novel of Raskolnikov, and I absolutely love it. It is one of my all-time favorite novels, and I'm sure to reread it again sometime in my life. I also, no big surprise for people who watch my challenge, William Gaddis Jr. This was a book that I discovered last year. It is absolutely stunning. I did do a reread of it this year. I won't say anything about it because I've talked too much about this on so many other videos. I also reread The Sound and the Fury by William Faulkner. This is the 3rd time I've read this book, I think, and it just gets better every time I read it. It is an extraordinarily complex and difficult book to read, but it does get clearer every time you read it. And I am going to reread it again. The one thing I might do is on like a 4th reread is read the sections out of order. This begins with the very famous Benji section, which is the most complicated, and I would probably read the book in reverse order next time, but that's just me. Prompt number 4. How many books did you read last year? And I read 137 books. 45 were digital, 34 were print, and 33 were audio. And they totaled for 44,243 pages. Prompt number 5. How many books have you rated as 5 stars this year? I have read a total of 41 books this year, and out of them, I have rated 6 5 stars. And out of those 6, all of them are rereads. Those 6 are Beloved by Toni Morrison, If This Is a Man by Primo Levi, The Stranger by Albert Camus, The Postman Always Rings Twice by James M. Cain, J.R. by William Gaddis, and Mother Night by Kurt Vonnegut. Prompt number 6. Do you have a reading target for this year? Yes, I want to read 45,000 pages for this year. I don't like getting a goal of number of books that I have read, because that can be highly unequal. I am in this 100 book challenge that many people know, and War and Peace is 1,399 pages long and counts as one book. Howl by Allen Ginsberg is 55 pages long and counts as one book. So for my goal, I'm just counting pages, so I don't get that unbalance of number of books read. And how am I doing? Well, as of this year, I have read 9,243 pages, and that makes me 1,743 pages over goal. I think I'm kicking hiney. I may need to up that goal because it's not a challenge if you're exceeding it so well. So I'll see how I'm doing at the end of March, and if I'm still way ahead, I'll probably try to up that to like 48,000 or maybe 50,000 pages read, just to keep things interesting. Prompt number 7. How many pages long is the book you are reading now? The Bluest Eye is 208 pages long, and The Summer of Light and Then Comes Night is 256 pages long. Prompt number 8, how long are your videos? I'm becoming very sensitive to video length. I do have some longer videos, but I am making a conscious effort to try to keep them under 15 minutes long, if not under 20 minutes long. Of course, there's always going to be a couple of exceptions, but I think a 15-minute video length is well enough and long enough for anyone to bother watching the whole thing. Prompt number 9. Do you have a favorite number? No. Numbers are just numbers. Someone else mentioned that you can't have a lucky number because there is no such thing as luck. So, no favorite number. Prompt number 10, last question. Do you have a book on your shelves with a number in the title or on the cover? Yes, I do. Now, I am taking this very strict, more strict, I think, the question originally asked, because I could include books like Catch-22, which I have, quite a number. But for this, I'm going to show books where the title is only a number. Donald E. Westlake, 361. This is part of the Hard Case Crime series. I have read this book. I remember absolutely nothing about this book. Thomas M. Dish, 334. This is a science fiction novel set in a future New York City. It is about an apartment building called 334, and I have not read it, but I believe it is just the intermingling lives of that apartment building. Now, I have read some other Thomas F. Dish, and he's kind of a strange author, but an interesting one. We have 1491. This is a history of America before Columbus arrived. So you'll get the history of the native Indians and the landscape, and it is just a curious book. I have not read all of it. I've just read selections, and I want to read the whole thing one day. 2666 by Robert Bolaño, and this is just a fabulous novel. I've read this novel twice. Calling it a novel is a little bit of a stretcher. It's actually 5 novellas that make a bigger, coherent story, and they're quite interesting. One of the stories is really rather disturbing because it details the murders in a city along the U.S. border, and it is just endless descriptions of murdered women for the most part. And I have to say, why did he do it? And for the most part, he's talking about the lives of throwaway women, and no one cares. The only problem with that statement is no woman is a throwaway woman, no matter what has happened to her life, whether she's a drug addict or whether she's a prostitute. Her life matters, and she should not be murdered, and why are people not really paying more attention to these murders? So it is just like an overload of murder. And lastly, I have a book I picked up. It is 54 by Wu Ming. Wu Ming is a pen name for a number of Italian authors. I have not read this, and I can't even, it's about Cary Grant. And yeah, it's on my list of books to get to one day. So that is the end of the Booktube Numbers Tag. Now, who do I tag? I think a lot of people have done this. I don't think Ellen at Big Hard Books and Classics has done this. I do not think, who do I also want to tag here? I wrote some things down. I don't think Plagued by Visions has done this tag. And I don't think Elizabeth at Bouquins Books has done this tag. So I'm tagging those 3 people. Please feel free not to do it if you're too busy. It's just an interesting little tag. So thank you all for watching and have a good day. Goodbye.